Welcome back. Today I'm going to attempt Puzzle Rush Survival, which is just like Puzzle Rush on chess.com, except instead of trying to do as many as you can in 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you try to do as many as you can until you fail 3. There's no time limit. I'm just going to switch over, and these usually take a while, so I'm going to end the intro now and just get started, except to say, if you're new here, I'm not a chess coach or a titled player or an expert. I'm just someone trying to get better at chess. One of the ways that I gauge that is by my rapid rating, and another way that I gauge that is, by these top scores here on Puzzle Rush. As you can see by this personal leaderboard, a couple of months ago I hit 41, which is my all-time high, and then I've done in the upper 30s a few times and lower 30s a few times, and it took me quite a while to get there. So anyway, let's just go. I'm playing with the white pieces. Usually the first few are pretty easy, like this is going to be taking their pieces in checkmate, but I'm not going to go too fast like I do in the timed versions because I want to make sure, but I'm pretty sure this is checkmate because my other rook is protecting it. I'm not in check. Okay. And here, this should be checkmate because my rook is protecting. All right. Okay, now pawns. Okay, well, I can't move that pawn, so that's easy enough. I can move my king, but I'm not sure why I would. I don't want to get in front of this pawn or run away. So it looks like I just need to move my e pawn, right? My a and b pawns can't go anywhere. If I move my e pawn, what's my opponent going to play? I assume they're going to come toward it, but then I'm going to move it again, and they're going to follow it. Then if I move it again and they follow it and I go again, they can't get in front of it. I think I'd have to move my king at that point, but let's just see. Okay. Oh, they're just going to let it go. All right. And I'll keep going. All right. That one turned out to be simple. This one looks like just moving that pawn, doesn't it? I mean, again, if I move my king, I don't know what purpose it serves. They can't catch this pawn, my b pawn, but they are going to have to get out of the way of their a pawn. And when they do, they're going to be in the, on the b file, which is where I'll be when I get a queen down here. So this one also seems simple enough. It seems like just moving my b pawn. If I go, they get out of the way, and I go again, and they go, and I go again, and they go, I'm going to promote with check. So I think that's what I have to do. And of course, they got out of the way of their pawn. I should just move it again, because I can't catch their pawn, so I should just move mine. That seems simple enough. And then they got out of this because they don't want to be in check. But now, if I promote and they move forward again, I should be able to stop that, right? Okay, I'm playing with the white pieces. Let's see, do I have any checks? I do have a check that they can't get out of because my bishop is guarding that square, so I think that's checkmate. And again, playing with the white pieces. Again, do I have any checks? I do have a check right here on d6, protected by the rook, which will also be protecting the pawn. At that point, my queen will be cutting off all of these squares, so my opponent would only have one legal move, which would be to drop back to c8. And then at that point, I think I would have to move forward just one to d7, checking them, forcing them to come over, and my bishop is protecting b7, so then I would checkmate them over there, I think. Oh, it just stopped there. Okay. Black pieces. All right. I do have a check. I think that's my only check. I somehow forgot to develop all my other pieces. But not only is that check, I think it's checkmate because the queen would cut off all of these squares and their own pieces are in the way of the rest of that. So this looks like mate in one. Okay. Black pieces again. I have a check with my rook. And because my queen is guarding this square and this one, they would have to get out of the way back to h1. And then I think that's checkmate over here. Oh, they blocked with the queen. Well, I think I'll take it. And again, it stopped. It didn't let me go all the way to checkmate. This one looks easy enough. I think this is checkmate right here. Okay. As I said, the first several are usually pretty easy, but we're already up from the 100 rating range to the 600 rating range. And before long, we'll be in the, the teens, which start to get pretty difficult. Let's see. I do have checks. And in this case, I have a bishop guarding those two squares, g7 and h8. So this, I think, will be checkmate when I take the f7 pawn. I don't think they can capture me there, and there's nowhere for the king to go. So let's try that. Okay. Black pieces. Let's see. Well, I have a protected check on g1, which forces the king up, and then I will have a protected check on g3, which I think will be checkmate. Is there anything else? Do I have any other checks? This check here fails to the king taking it, and then I don't think I would have anything good after that. And of course, I don't have any other checks right here. I don't think they can checkmate me. Actually, yeah, they might be able to. If I tried something silly like lining up here, then my opponent would be able to check here. And when I moved out of check, I don't know. They might not be able to make me fast, but I think this is the answer, and then this is checkmate. Okay. Again, let's look for checks. My knight can't check. My pawn can check. My g-pawn. Okay, I am playing with the black pieces. Again, we have a case where the opponent has simply failed to develop a bunch of their pieces. Where can the king go? What can the opponent do if I check with g5? Because then my pawns, both of which will be protected by my king, and my pawns will be hitting all of these squares. My bishop's covering that one, and my queen's covering this, so I think this is checkmate. All right. Took me a second to see it, but here, not sure what they should have played, but I think I have a checkmate here. They have to move, then I'll check back there and take the rook. I think this is a fairly easy checkmate since I'm not in check. Okay, that was surprisingly easy for an 800 rated puzzle. Again with the black pieces. Okay, well, do I have any checks? I do not. Oh, sorry, I actually do have a check. It's taking this pawn here, the g-pawn. I don't think that would be good because they would take back, and then it would be pointless to move my g-pawn because they would take that too. So, and I can't move either one of the pawns first. And I can't take anything with the king. So it looks like I just moved my d-pawn. What does the opponent play if I just move my d-pawn? They could take either one of these pawns, but let's say they take the e-pawn. If I play d3, then they're going to capture on e6, right? I think. And then I play d2, and they could get behind it, simultaneously getting out of the way of their pawn. But then I could protect my pawn, and then they would move their d-pawn, I guess. And then I would have to bring the rook down to protect my promotion square because their rook would be guarding it from over here on d6. I don't know. This one seems complicated, but I'm going to push my d-pawn. Oh, it was that. Well, I'm going to push it again, pretty sure. Or should I come over here to go after their rook? No, I think that would be a waste, wouldn't it? Because they're going to push... If I did that, they're going to push this pawn, which protects the rook. Then I would take it, and then they would move their king over, which protects the rook and gets out of the way of this pawn. I think I just pushed the pawn. Okay, they went after it, and I said I would have to protect it. See, I don't think I should protect it with the rook, because then the back rank isn't protected. I think here on the second rank, I need to protect it with the king, and then that allows me to protect the promotion square with the rook. I think, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't just promote now. Nope, well, it wasn't that. Okay, we'll find out why at the end. That seemed like the only thing that made sense to me, but here I have a very easy checkmate, looks like. I mean, how was that one rated higher than the one before it? I have no idea. I'm playing with the black pieces, and my rook is under attack. Do I have any checks? I can't check here. I could check there on g2. Okay, what do they play if I check on g2? They'll take it, I'm certain. Then I could check them again, but they would just come out toward my rook. Okay, so do I take this rook? Or do I move my rook down here to go after the bishop? This also seems pretty hard for a pre-1000 rated puzzle. Because, okay, again, I only have one check, and I'm pretty sure that's not the answer because they get out of that. I could take the rook and then take the pawn because I assume they would take back. Or take this pawn? I don't know, and I can't get my king out of the way of my g-pawn because their rooks are guarding both of those files, the h file and the g file. All right, well, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this is going to be a really low-scoring Puzzle Rush survival for me. I think it has to be taking the rook. Right. Okay, well, that's disappointing. I've missed 2, and I've barely broken 1,000. There's probably something obvious, but that's the way these go sometimes. On the plus side, it means this video might be really short. Well, let's look at checks. I only have 1 check? No, I have 2 checks. I can check on b1, which forces the king out because my pawn's guarding the forward 2 squares on the 4th rank, so it forces the king out over there. Then I could check again, and the king would have to come over to f3, I think, and then I would check over there, which is mate. That looks good. And then check with the rook. I don't think they can take that. And then I think this is checkmate. Okay. Again, a lot easier than the one before it. Okay, I'm playing with the white pieces. Again, fairly simple because I only have a few choices here. Well, I mean, my king has a bunch of choices, but I don't think any of those make sense. If I take the c-pawn, do they take me back or do they go past? Because those 2 pawns should be able to overwhelm my remaining a-pawn. But if they move past, then I can go, but then they can come up, then I can go again, then they come here and they're prepared to develop their own passed pawn, which will promote by putting me in check. Oh my. Or should I try to catch that pawn? Is it possible to catch that pawn? No, because they'll take, and no matter what I do, they'll take the next one. Yeah, so I think I have to take on c4, because it doesn't make sense to move my h-pawn. They'll take it, right? It also doesn't make sense to push past because they could take or push past and promote their c-pawn. All right, well, I've exhausted all my options. I'm going to take the c-pawn. Oh, okay, I got one right for once. Well, I can catch that one, pretty sure. If I come toward it, I go, and I come toward it, I'm going to catch it. And then I should be able to get their other one. If they come and get this one, I've got my a-pawn left. And if they abandon my h-pawn, I have the h-pawn. So I think I have to come toward their c-pawn. Okay, I come toward it again, don't I? Because, well, now I can't move the h-pawn, so that's not an option. But since they didn't move the c-pawn, should I move my a-pawn to be closer to promotion? Let's see. If I move over one, and they take this, I'll still be able to catch this, but they'll start coming. Not there. They can only go one at a time. And then I go here, and they come over, and I take that pawn, and they come over. I've got to get out of the way of my pawn, and they come over. I think I still win. I think I have to go for the c-pawn. Okay, and then I take the c-pawn, right? And then I take the b-pawn, or do I move mine first? Does it make a difference? Those are the only two choices, to come toward it or move my a-pawn. Okay, well, let's say I come toward it, and they come, and I take it, and they come, and I get out of the way, then I can shepherd that one down. Well, now I have to take it, because it doesn't make sense to do anything else, right? Are they going to be able to block me in there? I don't think so. Okay, then that one seemed fairly obvious the whole way, but I was suspicious after the two that I failed. Okay, well, I have a check here. The king has to move over one. That would be its only legal move. But then what would I have? When it moves over one, I could check with the bishop, and I think that would be mate. Like so. They'll have to block with their bishop, but then I'll take it, I think. Should I take with my queen? If I take with my queen, yeah, that's checkmate. If I take with my bishop, they can get out. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to 41 having missed two so early. But that's still bugging me because I have no idea what I should have done in those. Well, let's look for checks. Oh, their king's on a light square, so the dark squared bishop can't check. My own pawn's in the way, as is theirs, so I can't check with the queen. So I don't have checks. Do I have any captures? This bishop can't capture anything. The other bishop can't move. The knight can't capture anything. Oh, I can capture that knight. Does that help me in any way? They would, I assume, just take back. That gets out of the way of my queen, which I assume is good. But once they take back, my queen doesn't have anywhere to go, so can't move my bishop. I can move this rook, but I don't know that I would want to. Two of those spots are guarded by bishops, and moving it up to g2 doesn't seem like a great idea. I can move this rook, but both of those spots in front of it are protected by their bishops, so I don't think I would want to. I can move this knight, but what good does that do? I can move this knight, but what good does that do? I don't want to put it on those squares, I'm pretty sure. Okay, well, this might be the last puzzle of this because I have no idea. I have no idea what the benefit of that is other than getting out of the way of my queen, which I don't think is a great benefit. I think they'll take it with their queen, but then I don't have anything. Okay, well, again, this might be the end of it. It was. All right, that's my worst performance ever, pretty sure. We just looked at the leaderboard. I don't remember what my worst one was. I was looking at my best ones. Okay. We generally try not to beat our worst performances. We try to beat our best ones. Okay. Well, this says the theme was promotion. Okay. Well, I correctly deduced that I had to move this pawn, and then I correctly deduced that I had to move it again, and then I incorrectly thought I had to protect it, because I still can't take this pawn. I still think it's a bad idea to take that pawn. I can't move my g-pawn. I can't take this one, and if I promote, they just take it. So do I need to protect it with my rook? What does that do? If I protect it with my rook, I'm never going to be able to move it. But that's the only thing. Oh, wait. I protect it with my rook this way. I bet that's it. Oh, it was. All right. And now I promote. Has to be. Okay. All right. This is what I didn't see. Okay. I got it. I thought of the ways that I could protect with my rook, but I didn't think of all the ways that I could protect with the rook. Okay, I understand that one. I am still very surprised that it's rated as low as it is. And you know what? I'm curious as to what the problem is with protecting it with my king the way that I had planned. So I have to play through it again? Okay. Well, let's play through it again, protect it this way, and then promote. And then I'll go to the analysis board. And over here, when they moved their rook over, king to e3 gives my opponent a huge advantage because they will play e6. And then I was going to protect the promotion square, but then they play e7, and then I promote, and they take it, and I take it, and they promote with check. Okay, well, that's the problem with that, and now I know. Got it. The next one that I missed was this one. My opponent did that, and I had no idea what to do. It was not taking the rook. We learned that by the big red X that popped up, so it was something different. Was it just moving the rook so as to not get taken? Said that was my other option. That's the only other thing that I thought of, was putting the rook on e2. Okay, let's try that. Wait, that was it? Okay, I'm going to go to the analysis board. It says it's even if I play anything other than rook to e2. And rook taking rook is not one of the top 3 options. Okay, well, how bad is that? Oh, it's another thing that takes us to even, because they're going to take back. It says I would take this pawn. That's what I thought of, was taking one of these 2 pawns. Oh, taking this pawn is not a good option, it says. The reason that I was leaning toward the A pawn is because it's the thing protecting the other one, and I thought maybe I could wipe out all 3 of them. But if I play that, they're going to play rook to f4 maybe? That's what it thinks. Okay, that's protecting those 2 squares. Well, then I would not take this. It says I would play queen to b2. Pretty sure I would take, but how bad would that be? Okay, that would also be even, and then they would play c4 where their rook protects it, and we're dead even, and my best move is queen to b2. Okay, that pins the bishop. They're going to try to unpin the bishop by playing here, and then I can check down on h8. Okay, that's why I needed to be on queen to b2, because they can't get out of check here, so they have to block with the rook, but then I can check over on c8, and the king has to go back, and I have several moves that keep us even. Queen to e8, queen to f8, king to f6. Oh, king to f6 would be getting out of the way of the pawn. Well, I understand that one. Okay, now what's their move? Oh, bishop to d5, cementing those 2 in, so now their rook is not tied to defending that pawn. Okay, then I would play g5, but they would run away with their rook someplace, maybe here. And it says I would play g4, but I'm not sure that I would. Oh yeah, my queen's protecting that square. But that's temporary, isn't it? Or king to g7. Okay, well, I'm not sure I understand all of that. But apparently, I can't checkmate my opponent with just a queen, and I wouldn't be able to get all those pawns because my opponent would be smart enough to come up here and protect that one after the rook trade. Okay, but I have to play this, and it leaves me way ahead, but I'm not sure how. The engine thinks they might play rook to d7, which is a threat on my queen, but then I would take their bishop with check. It would get out of check. Oh, now it's mate 9. Wait, what? Oh, see, earlier over here it said -5, and then it said -35, but now it's mate 11 if I play rook to e2. Okay. That would have helped me understand it a little bit the first time. But yeah, let's say they come over there, so I take the bishop. They don't have a bishop anymore. If they come up 1, it's mate immediately. So they go down to king to h1, and then I get my queen out of danger by going to f2. They're going to check me, and I'm going to play king to f6, and they're going to check me, and I'm going to play king to e5, and now their best move is to run down here to keep me from checkmating them. I'm just going to go ahead and take this pawn as my best move. Then they're going to check me on e7, which is over here, okay, and I'm going to come toward it, I assume, okay, and now their best move is to give away the rook to delay mate, okay, and I will take it, and now they're going to check me here, and I'm going to come toward them, and their best move is to check me on e7 or d6, where I will take it, and then all they can do is move a pawn, and then I will checkmate them a number of ways, but I would probably do this one. All right, well, now that I know that there was a forced mate, that helps. All right, and the third one that I missed was over here. I think I took the knight, but I have no idea what else there could possibly be. So should I just start trying random moves, or should I click the hint button? You know what? I'm going to play b4. Nope, that wasn't it either. Okay, I'm going to click the hint button. It was bishop to g5, which threatens their queen, but doesn't win. Why didn't the queen just move out of danger? Oh, the reason the queen didn't move out of danger is because of mate. I think I would just get out of that check. Okay, this puzzle should not be rated whatever it was rated. It was rated 1200? Okay, sorry, I think this puzzle should be rated much higher than this, because I've been doing puzzles rated 17, 18, 1900. This is harder than most of those. Not going all the way to take the knight, so this is not a capture or a check, it's a threat. It's a threat on the queen, and if the queen moves over, which is what I had expected, then I have checkmate down here on d8. Okay. So their best move actually was to play knight to g4, and it was my best move to take the queen, and it was their best move to check me, and then my only move to get out this way. But now they're going to leave the bishop here where it's safe and get the knight out of danger by taking my bishop, and I'm still up 5 points of material, I think. I was counting right. And now I have several moves like knight to c1. That one's great, it says. Or knight e to c3, or king to c1. Okay, I think I see knight to c1 because it comes back up here to d3 aiming at the bishop because the bishop's in kind of an annoying spot right now. I mean, I'm exposed. Aren't they going to castle? It says depending on what I play, they might castle. If I play up here, though, yeah, they would castle. Okay. If I play down here, they would probably castle. And look where my king is, right behind my queen. I mean, right in front of my queen. So if I play that and they castle, then I've got to get the king out from in front of my queen because otherwise they'll win my queen for their rook. And now their best move is to get this knight out to a6 or put this knight on h5 or get that knight out to d7. Oh, I'm sure I would still lose this game even if I found that. And I would never find that in a game. Let me back up. I might find that in a game, but I would have no idea about the threatened mate down there. I would just be thinking about threatening their queen. And that's why I might find it because I do often try to, when my opponent has a queen out early, I do often try to harass it, but I would have expected them to move over and I wouldn't have even been looking at this, which is mate in 1. Okay, well, that was pretty frustrating. Think I do understand the 3 that I missed. I'm just surprised that they came that early in the lineup. So, yay for me for getting one of my worst Puzzle Rush survivals of all time. Let's see if we go back to the homepage and check the leaderboard. Oh no, my worst of all time was 17, I think. Oh no, full history, so it includes more than that. Oh, I didn't even know this existed. Can you sort them by score? Oh, I did a lot more of these than I thought. Oh no, so I did some really bad ones apparently. Wait, why is there a 0 one from April 1st? That's probably an April Fool's joke because I don't think I've ever done one of these where I just failed the first one and it was over. But apparently 3 years ago, I did a few where I only got 6 or 7 right. Okay, so it wasn't one of my worst of all time. It just only showed so many scores on that leaderboard. So I have a whole page and a half here that are worse than what I did today. All right, well, apparently once I did 20 of these in only 4 minutes. That's also an April Fool's. Okay, see, I think, yeah, some of these aren't real. I couldn't have done 20 of these in 4 minutes. April Fool's from this year? Sorry, I'm looking for other April Fools from this year. Okay, none there. And the last one where I said I got 0 was also from April Fools of this year. That didn't happen. Yeah, chess.com's put some bogus results here in my leaderboard. That's interesting. But apparently over here on the Puzzle Rush page, this leaderboard only shows the top 25. Okay, I learned something new every day. Thank you for spending your time here. I'll see you next time.